Hello class 9th. Today we will discuss achievements of the early nationalist. It is a part of lesson 3, page 94. Objectives of the topic. Orderly progress to educate the people to arouse political consciousness. Before discussing this topic, we must know the following terms. Early nationalist, dominating leaders from 1885 to 1905 who wanted to bring change through constitutional methods. Criticism, the expression of disapproval on the basis of faults or mistakes. Nationalism, feeling of brotherhood. Consolidation, make something physically stronger or solid. Mass falling, it is a situation when the maximum people start following or accepting the same policy. As we know, early nationalists created a feeling of national awakening, means they belong to the one country, that is India. This made Indians conscious of the bond of common political, economic, social and cultural interest. These common interests were very helpful to unite the people of India. After uniting the Indians, the early nationalists started to train them in politics by giving the idea of democracy, civil liberties, secularism, nationalism. Democracy means government of the people, for the people, by the people. Civil liberties means legal rights to freedom. Secularism means no state religion. Nationalism, feeling of brotherhood. The early nationalists made the people to realize the character of the British imperialism. That means when the strong country rule over weak country. And that was the biggest achievement. Now let's come to the reading part. Achievements of the early nationalists. Many critics are the opinion that the early nationalists did not achieve much success. They were treated with the contempt by the foreign rulers and their demands were not fulfilled. Contempt means showing disrespect. Critics means expression of disapproval. In spite of above criticism, it can't be denied that the early nationalists were true patriot. Patriot means one who loved for his country, of high character and not the blind supporters of the British. Their service cannot be ignored and their achievements cannot be underrated. Underrated means underestimated. The early nationalists achieved a lot. Means we cannot say that they were not get the absolute success, but they achieved a lot. They constantly worked. Constantly means regularly. Worked for the development and consolidation of the feeling of natural unity among the Indians. They created in them the feeling that belonged to one nation, that is India. And they were the natives of Indian nation. They educated the Indians. Educated means to give the moral and intellectual instructions Indians and arouse the political consciousness among them. Means they get the support of the educated Indians and they were supporting them for the political activities. They gave them the training in politics, political education and struggle. Politics means activities related with governing activities. Political agitation means political protest. They aroused the national feeling among the Indians. They laid the foundation of Indian nationalism, means feeling of brotherhood or fraternity, over which a superstructure was raised on. Means upon that they wanted to make India free by using the constitutional means. Early nationalists could not get the absolute success. There are certain reasons for it. Early nationalists believed that the British sooner or later would agree with them. They did not have the mass following, means the many of the people were not following their ideas. They adopted moderate methods, means constitutional methods, and they were deadly against the use of force or violent methods. No doubt, the methods of the early nationalists were moderate. They were unable to get much success, but they got the support from the educated people. They were inspired by the ideas of the Western philosophers, Rousseau, Paine, Milton, etc., who developed the idea of democracy. Now let's come to the reading part. Early nationalists believed the British felt that sooner or later they would agree to establish representative institutions in India. They did not see the British interest clash with the Indian interest. Eh, Early nationalists thought that sooner or later they would grant them the establishing the representative institutions. They did not have the mass following. Second reason was that was much responsible because many people were not following their policy. They adopted moderate constitutional methods to achieve their goals because they were deadly against the violent methods. Their methods have been criticized as those of the beggary and speech making without the determination and follow up chain because they were not having the fixed plans. These reasons were little responsible for their not getting the absolute success. Now, children, we will do here, and you will have to learn the important terms and reread this part. Thank you.